Okay, when Chris Marve marches the Colorado Buffaloes in the Bobby Dodd Stadium, he's going to have to deal with the bad boys. The bad boys, yeah, that's what they call themselves. Justin Haynes and Malachi Hosley. I ain't even gonna hold you in today's video. I'm gonna give you everything you need to know about the bad boys who consider themselves the best running back duo in the country. Yes, the country. But they have some evidence behind it. I ain't even gonna hold you. This new Chris Marve defense is gonna have to come on with it and bring that belt. So in today's video, I'm gonna break down. Also, Chris Winkie mentioned 250 plays in the playbook, so you know I had to break it all down. And I ain't even gonna waste your time, bro. Let's get straight to it. I think we're at 13 days left until September 3rd when Colorado and Coach Prime opens up. And this is going to be one of the most electrifying viewed games, I promise you, of the 2020 season. I guarantee you by the time you leave this video, you will know everything you need to know, Colorado fans, about Malachi Hosley and Justice Haynes. Let's get straight to it. Say no more. Now, all right, they call themselves the Bad Boys, and they have a reason. The number between both of them is 7 yards per carry. Listen, Justice Haynes and Malachi Hosley were only 2 of 8 FBS backs to average at least 7 yards per carry in 2025. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. 857 yards for Haynes, 697 for Hosley, 10 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns. Listen, these are two running backs that if we allow to get going to open up the game, it's going to be an issue. We got to come out early on first down and set the tone. They already said it. I think we are the best backfield in the country. And they have some supporting evidence. 1,554 yards combined heading into 2026, 17 combined touchdowns, 219 carries, and a whopping 7.1 yards per carry, bro. Listen, 2 Doc Walker watch list backs, right? They're both on the preseason watch list. Both cleared 7 yards per rush. 600-yard games from Haynes, 300-yard games from Hosley. Haynes was more of the feature back last season. Hosley was kind of running the 1B, all right? Complementary workloads, right, that preserve explosiveness. They're going to play very well off of each other, so we got to be ready for that. I will explain all that in this video. Listen, let's get to Justice Haynes, right? Justice Haynes is like that. Listen, 600-yard games in only 7 appearances, right, in 2025. His 7.1 yards per carry and 122.4 rush yards per game led the Big Ten, y'all. The Big Ten at Michigan. Say no more, all right? Both rates would have him ranked near the top nationally without the games played minimum, right? So in only 7 games, right? 121 carries, average 122 a game. No wonder Brent Key went out and brought him in. He said, that's my type of guy right there. 7 yards per carry in the Big Ten. He said, come here. I ain't even going to hold you. Now, his playing style. Justice Haynes is a downhill one-cut runner. Think like Terrell Davis and those old school backs. Think Derrick Henry style, somebody who likes to put his foot in the dirt and get downhill. He likes to fall forward for an extra 3 to 4 yards after contact, right? So if you give him a clean crease, there's going to be an issue, especially early downs, right? We have to change that 7.1. I would prefer under 2, under 3, but if we can keep it in the 3 range, I believe early first downs, Colorado will be able to not allow Brent Key to get Justice Haynes rolling and control that time of possession. We all know what's going to happen. They want to keep Brennan Marion and the new go-go offense off the field. They want to control the clock, and with the new college football, with the rolling clock rules, first down, second down is going to be pivotal if we want to see this offense again on the field for Colorado against Georgia Tech, right? So in 2026, he's going to be the primary early down engine. He's going to carry the 4-minute offense and force lighter personnel to defend that power football. 23 personnel, 21 personnel, 20 they're going to mix it up. But we're going to get into further in this video. 250 plays, Chris Winkie said, with over 25 formations. Chris Marve definitely has his work cut out for him, but if anybody's ready to make it happen, I do believe the Virginia Tech former defensive coordinator is ready to make that happen. Say no more, right? Now, what he did in 2025, right? He stepped on the scene and he went crazy. He did not only have early season explosion. Haynes topped 100 yards against 6 different opponents and earned 26 carries and carried the ball 26 times in his final appearance, right? New Mexico, 16 for 159, 9 yards a carry. Oklahoma, 19 for 132, 6 yards a carry. Central Michigan, 14 for 104, 7 yards a carry. Nebraska, 17 for 149, 8.8. You might as well give him 9. Wisconsin, 19 for 123. And against Michigan State, y'all, 26 carries, 152, 2 touchdowns. Give him 6 yards a carry, right? So listen, he is dealing with some injuries. Foot injury interrupted the season and forced him to miss the final 4 games. So he is, but recent interviews has said that he's healthy, and him and Malachi Hosley are ready to get this rolling together. Right now, I'm going to bring on an interview from Georgia Tech football and take a closer look at Malachi Hosley and my boy Justice Haynes. Justice Haynes and Malachi Hosley on ACC Huddle Special Road Trip. Let's take a look.
Justice Haynes on this side, Malachi Hosley on this side. Justice, teach period right now. What are you guys trying to get done here?
It's a little RBAs right now. We're just getting the connection in with the quarterbacks. We got slants going over here. We got trail routes for us. Just trying to get that connection so, they know where we are. Right. That good connection that we've been working on all summer.
Malachi, break down a trail route for me. Explain to the viewers what that is.
So a trail route is basically where we're running a little, like an option, well, not really an option, like a flat route away from our protection.
There you go.
So we might have everything slide left, we'll insert right and go out right.
I love seeing running backs catch the ball, Justice. How important is that in your game?
It's very important. That's something I want to showcase. I'm an all-around complete back. We all do in this room. And, Coach Gotzi, he has a plethora of routes for us to run, so we're going to have fun doing them.
I love the way that you guys have been talking about being the.
Say no more. I'm on that. Huh? You got a what route you running? A trail route? Say no more. Nah. Give me a louder explosion. That's what I'm talking about. So in this video specifically, you hear Justice Haynes and Malachi Hosley talk about the importance of how Gotzi is going to use them in the run game. Very important with this 4-2-5 and 4-3. We're going to have to pay close attention to not only the trail route when the line slides left and they sneak out opposite side to the opposite field. They're going to try to catch the defensive momentum sliding to the left or sliding to the right. They're going to head into the action and then sneak out opposite side for an option route or what they call a trail route. I'm on that. You shouldn't have never told me. Colorado, I'm here, bro. Don't you worry about it. I'm on that. I do believe with Gotzi's offense and these different personnel packages he's going to run from, it's going to be difficult because you can see both Haynes and Hosley and 22 personnel on the field at the same time. Well, I do believe they can run it out of 21 personnel, 10 personnel. There's going to be different ways they're going to find these to get these guys the ball. What they want to do is get them isolated in space on our linebacker or on a nickel or somebody, and they trust. I mean, who wouldn't trust their running back in space versus a linebacker or a safety? One-on-one, we typically want to give that to the edge to your skill position guy, right? So, Colorado, we have to be prepared for them in the passing game. Brent Key is the type of individual. What did Haynes King do to Colorado last season? He literally stole the game and they fed him the ball, right? If Haynes King is not only working in the backfield, he's getting downhill, and then Hosley's coming into the game and he's working the ball out into the flats, option routes, trail routes. Then then this running back duo alone can have Bobby Dodd Stadium turned up and really be making all the plays. So for me, we're on that. Trail routes, option routes, all these things coming out of backfield. We have to spotlight Hosley and Haynes coming out of the backfield. Listen, they are going to try to get these dudes the ball. We cannot fall asleep. Say no more. Let's get back to the presentation. If you enjoy these type of breakdowns, if you enjoy this Georgia Tech versus Colorado series, go back and check the tape, bro. I've been running this road to Georgia Tech Colorado opener for 2 months now. Just go back and look at my first series on the Georgia Tech. 8 episodes now. I think I'm on episode 3 of this now. We're scouting Georgia Tech. And if you enjoy these type of breakdowns, then smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're already subscribed, become a member, and don't go nowhere because we haven't even got to Hosley yet, right? Moving right along. Now, He is on the NFL radar. Don't get it tangled or twisted. Justice Haynes is already on the 2027 NFL radar. PFN has him as a top 100 overall prospect, number 8 running back. Number 8. Okay? So we got to do our due diligence. We got to be Sun Tzu on this. You got to respect your enemy. You got to know your enemy. You got to know who you're going to war against. Number 8 running back on the 2027 NFL radar. I mean, say no more, right? 80.5 NFL draft buzz rating, right? Come on now. And of course, he's on the Doak 2026 watch list. His draftable traits: 1-cut acceleration, contact balance through arm tackles. We're going to have to swarm Gideon, ESPN, Leona Leafowl, Tyler Martinez, Big Rando, pause. We're going to have to rally, strip that ball out, and we're going to have to swarm to the ball and get this dude on the ground, right? Experience in Alabama and Michigan rooms. I repeat, Alabama and Michigan. This is not somebody who's going to be running scared against a Big 12 opponent. I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it real. When you come from the SEC and the Big 10, I mean, I'm just keeping it all the way a bean. It's not going to be a fear factor with Justice Haynes. He's going to try to dictate the punishment for real. Much due respect to Haynes, bro. Production versus Big 10 defenses, bro. Big 10 defenses. Look at the stats I just put up. Go back and check on the video. He's been rolling, bro, and Brent Key has brought him in here with this offensive line for Georgia Tech, and it's known what they want to do, right? So what he does have to do is prove that foot is fully recovered, sustain a complete season workload, pause, and pass protection consistency, right? We're going to test him on that pass protection, but he has NFL written all over him, so we cannot get it twisted. Now, his bread and butter menus, right? The counter. Listen, the counter is his bread and butter. The counter RPO and the counter, bro. Listen, he likes the counter snap. He likes the counter step, press that kick out and bend behind the wrapper, and we're off to the races. You give him some lead blockers on that counter, and he gets moving. Go back and check the tape. Don't take my word for it, right? And the RPO, same down here picture with a quarterback conflict read. The RPO holds the overhang and cleans the second level entry, right? So we're going to have to stay disciplined, backside, pause, on these counters that are coming from Haynes, bro. Outside zone, he's going to try to press the edge, force the pursuit to widen. He's looking for them cutback lanes. That's his bread and butter. Once he sticks that foot in the ground and gets vertical, Justin Haynes gets downhill and he will get chunk yards at a time, right? And then pin and pull, using moving blockers to create space on the perimeter. Haynes bursts and punishes late fit. So he'll get on a pause. He'll get behind a pulling guard, tackle, whatever. He'll get moving. Once they make the contact, he'll break. You feel me? So we have to read and we have to react, bro. And the work is cut out because of both of these offenses are being introduced for the first time to college football. You have the go-go offense with Brennan Marion, and then you have Godsey, who's coming over from the NFL. 15 years there, runs more of a pro-style offense, over 25 different formations, of 10 to 15 personnel grouping, right? And over 250 plays in the playbook. So you can't scout everything. You can't. You can do your best, but we're gonna have to play some good disciplined football, and a lot of the instincts from Leona Leafowl, Martinez, and Gideon, and our defensive line is gonna dictate how the bad boys do. Right now, let's switch over to my dog Malachi Hosley. Right, efficiency already proven at Georgia Tech in 2025. He has 697 rushing yards, 7 rush touchdowns on 98 carries. 816 all-purpose yards. I wanted to highlight that. All-purpose yards. What is all-purpose yards? Say no more. Catching the ball out of the backfield, right? For Colorado fans, let's think DeKalon Trackhawk Taylor. Let's think somebody who, before he went down, was also leading Colorado with 10 receptions for 160-something yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging 10 yards per catch, right? So a dual threat running back who also they get him involved in the passing game, right? So honorable mention all ACC in a reserve role last season. He led Georgia Tech running backs in rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, and all-purpose yards while averaging 7.2 7.1 yards per carry, y'all. 7, okay? He's a compact, sudden, and hard to square up guy, right? His start and stop controls creates misfits, and his low center of gravity preserves balance through contact. His burst converts cutback daylight into chunk games. This is their explosive playmaker right here, right? So we're going to have to do an excellent job of knowing where he is at all times on the football field, bruh. You feel me? So what is his role for me, for Say No More in this 2026? The change of pace guy without changing the threat. You know what I'm saying? Hosley can spell Haynes. He can share a two-back package with him, pause, and release the space or become the motion player who exposes coverage and run fits. They're going to find the mismatch. Chris Winkie did an interview yesterday where he talked about they're trying to find the mismatch. You know what I mean? So we have to be prepared when we're isolated on the island one-on-one with either Hosley or Haynes that we're able to sustain, and don't let them guys get going. But I think our Colorado backfield, matter of fact, I know they're built for this challenge, right? Moving right along, Say No More, I ain't even gonna hold you. So, a little bit of history, all right? Ivy Rookie of the Year 2023, he had 723 rushing yards, 6 yards per carry. 2024, 1,100 yards, 6.2 yards per carry. Transferred over to Georgia Tech. Last season, 697, 7.1. So, Virginia Tech, he had 129 yards, 11.7 yards per carry. At Boston College, he had 107 rushing yards plus 47 receiving yards. So that's 147 total yards against Boston College, Colorado. We cannot allow Hosley to have 47 rushing yards and 100 on the ground. No way. All right. And then against Gardner-Webb, he had 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 58-yard touchdown, right? So explosiveness when we're talking, right? So Hosley changes the picture without changing intent. He's a change of pace runner, right? And he comes after Haynes King has forced the defense to brace downhill power and attack. Now he sets the tempo. He's a pony back, right? He can allow with Haynes in 20 or 21 personnel like we just talked about, right? Either back can carry, block, or motion or release. So for me, with this Godsey offense, it's going to be interesting how we dial up on the uncertainty plays, the plays that everybody's keeping them plays in their back pocket, right? Those personnel packages that we haven't seen. As much as anyone comes on YouTube or scouts, there's things that happen in-house that both Colorado and Georgia Tech are keeping close at heart. So they're going to come out in some unique personnel groups with they're going to have some things switched up. So it's all about us. At that point, we got to become football players, have the right call, and just do your job, right? That's as simple as that, right? And Hosley is a space player. Think screens, swing route, option routes. What did he talk about? That trail route, right? Get everybody rolling left. They trail out the back. Pause. And orb in motion, maybe some jet sweep as well, right? They're going to try to isolate a linebacker or safety, right? So the counter. This is the bread and butter play, right? So you got one room, 2 tempos with Justice Haynes and Malachi Hosley, right? For the running style, Justice Haynes is downhill, 1 cut, finishes through contact. For Malachi Hosley, he's a sudden stop and go guy, explosive, and he has cutback lanes, right? All right, for the best space, you got Justice Haynes has a more vertical track. Malachi Hosley, once he gets into second level and open grass, he's one of the slicker guys to take down, right? Justice Haynes has an explosiveness for 210 pounds. He can get out into the second level, but for Malachi Hosley, he has that start, stop, and low center balance, right? So, and when they're in the 2-back row together, right, expect Justice Haynes to be the primary ball carrier or a physical decoy, while expect Malachi Hosley to be in motion, get him singled up on a linebacker, some screens, some RPO game, right? So 600-yard games, 6 100-yard games in only 7 games for Justice Haynes, 3 100-yard games in a reserve role. And they believe they are the best duo, the bad boys, for Colorado. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and become a member if you enjoy these breakdowns. We're moving right along. 13 days left against Georgia Tech, bro. I mean, now we got to talk about Brent Key and how he plays a role. He brought 2 running backs to the ACC media day. 2, Hosley and King and Haynes, Justice Haynes, for a reason. Are you kidding me? Run the ball. Brent Key after Georgia Tech's 2024 win over Florida State. Listen, Brent Key's identity plays a lot into the role that Brent Key and Malachi Hosley are going to have. He wants physical, right? He wants to create movement with that offensive line, bro. Make tackling and block destruction the price of every person. He wants to wear our defensive line down. He wants to wear down Santana Hopper, Tamanamanape, Dylan Manuel, Lamont Lester, Emmanuel Eziogu, Toby Anane, you name it, right? He's trying to wear these guys out. So when the fourth quarter comes, their offensive line is physically more imposing. The yards per carry is suddenly going up, up, up. So Colorado has to not only come out in shape, they have to dictate the punishment. They need to put the bruising on the offensive line if they're going to dictate this pace. And that yards per carry early cannot be over 5. We have to shut that down early, first and second down, and force Alberto Mendoza to throw the ball and make us believe. This is Alberto Mendoza's first start. This is his first start in college football. Our quarterback got more experience than Georgia Tech's right now. So we want to make Alberto Mendoza beat us, not Justice Haynes and Malachi Hosley. That's too easy, right? If we just allow Alberto Mendoza to say hi, turn around and hand the ball off and let the backs do the work, that was too easy, Colorado. We just handed that game away. We got to do our job up front so that we put the ball in Mendoza's hands and see what he got, see what he could do. He ain't proven yet. He hasn't proven. He hasn't started one game in college football. So we're gonna make him prove it. I'm not just saying, that's the facts. He has not started a game yet. This will be his first start ever in his career. Let's make it one to remember for Colorado, right? We got to be he's patient, right? Brent Key's patient. He stays committed when the defense knows the run is coming anyways, bruh. 4 yards on first down keeps the whole call sheet alive. He'll run the ball on second down. Third down, he's patient with his play calling, what he wants to do. He'll change up the personnel, services, and motion so defenders cannot settle into one fit picture between him, Chris Winkie, and Godsey. I think they understand what they're trying to do when they come out against Colorado, right? And then finishing, right? Use the ground game to close the fourth quarter, controlled field position, and shorten the opponent's comeback window, right? In 2025, they averaged, give them 200 yards a game rushing, right? Number 21 in all of college football, right? We already know about Godsey, right? And the 250 play structure, right? This is very important for Colorado. After Chris Winkie described this true pro style offense, 12 to 15 personnel groups, bruh. So you think Colorado, when they go home out of practice, it's film. And with 13 days left, bruh, it's a lot of different variations, right? 20 to 25 different formations. That's insane. Okay. The shifts in the motion. So we got Chris Marve definitely has the work cut out, but I do believe he, more than anybody, he'll have this defense ready to rock and roll, right? Quarterback checks. They're putting a lot on Alberto Mendoza's plate as far as him understanding and being a real pro-style quarterback. So we have to do our best pre-snap to make sure he's thinking every single snap. Nothing should be a clean look or clean picture, right? Over 250 plays is insane. Let's get straight to it, though. We ready. Say no more. 6 personnel families that can feature this duo. You got 11 personnel. Running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. Haynes or Hosley as a running back. 12 personnel, right? 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. You know what I mean? Justice Haynes featured. Think that counter, that duo, that play action. 13 personnel group. Running back, 3 tight ends, 1 wide receiver. They gonna try to play smash mouth with us. You know what I'm saying? It might get spooky. It might turn into some Pop Warner. We're bigger than you guys. Pause. We're trying to play some smash mouth, right? Haynes is the hammer in a 13 personnel group. Then we're talking about some 20 personnel, 2 running backs, 0 tight end, 3 wide receivers, Haynes and Hosley. It changes the dynamic. Who do we key in on, right? So these are some of the different personnel groups. You have to be ready. 21 personnel, right? 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 2 wide receivers. Now we're thinking about Furman, Allen, and the tight end, Chris Corbo, and the rest of these guys, right? Once the tight ends enter their picture, they have some very productive tight ends with a lot of production last season who they're going to attack the seams, the middle of the field. So there's a lot on our plate on defense, but we're going to be ready. That's the job, right? Chris Marve is going to get these guys ready in Coach Prime, and then we're going to march into Colorado and see what you're talking about, right? The personnel group is insane. 10 to 15 different personnel groups is crazy. I ain't even going to hold you. The bread and butter play, Colorado. The counter. The Georgia Tech counter, bruh. The Georgia Tech counter. They are going to run so many different variations of counter, bro. And they want to get the over pursuit, and then Hosley's out of there. Haynes is out of there, and they're going to run this out of 10 to 15 different personnel groups, and there's different variations that they mix it up with. They're going to show the same look, and it's the counter, bro. Counter is their bread and butter, right? Same counter out of 12 personnel, 21 personnel, counter RPO. They're going to run counter, right? For members, we'll get into this a little bit more later, but for this general overall video, Haynes and Hosley on this counter, right? I'm doing everything I can prepare my Buffaloes for, right? Who knows? Some of them might take some from this video, but we got to stop them on counter, bro. If Haynes gets downhill and has enough force, if Haynes and Hosley, they're going to find different variations to run counter for these guys, right? So we have to be prepared for I don't know how many different variations they have, right? And let's talk about last season against Colorado, right? 27-20 last season. So we've seen this already. This is not the same defense, though. And neither is this the same offense. They reset in the portal almost the same or just as much as Colorado. But we're going to focus on Haynes being the priority, right? But that only builds on what we've already seen. 320 rushing yards last season, 47 attempts, 6.8 yards per carry. But that time of possession, bruh, that's where we don't want to be at 32 minutes. That wants to be Colorado, not Georgia Tech, right? We want to be dictating the tempo, dictating the pace, not Haynes King, Hosley, and they're slowing it up, getting to the huddle. They're walking there. They're not in a rush to see our offense, that new Brennan Marion go-go offense. They're not in a rush. We're going to take our time, right? So last season, we know Georgia Tech turned the ball over its first 3 possessions and still won because the run game created 463 total yards, 27 first downs, and control after that chaotic start. That's the timing we talked about. Brent Key won't get rattled. He'll stay on schedule, and they'll get back to running the ball. He'll bring it in, reset. Let's get back on focus. So we got to be prepared for that, right? The 2025 engine was quarterback-led with Haynes King. He's now with the Carolina Panthers. So the 26 version adds Haynes and brings back Hosley and a new pro-style presentation system that has so many different personnel groups and play and formations, right? So for Colorado, the Buffs do not need a theory. They know what Brent Key wants to do. They need a correction. They have to stop this in 2026, and I do believe we have the defense that's prepared for it, right? Say no more. We got to win first down. I'm not gonna say too much there. Yeah, Georgia Tech's run game, bro. To end this, Georgia Tech's run game is a physical hidden idea hidden inside of multiple offense. Haynes is the feature back with an NFL visibility, right? He's their NFL caliber running back. Star on College Football 27. Hosley, proven efficiency, their top running back returning last year, and their change of pace guy. Screens, RPOs, counters, trace routes, option routes, shiftier guy, right? Godsey, right? His personnel and his formations, right? Insane. And Brent Key, the line of scrimmage commitment, former offensive tackle, he wants to do. So Colorado has to stop the same run idea from 12 to 15 different pictures without giving away the explosive pass, because we know they got some receivers out there as well, right? Boom. So how'd you guys like that, right? How do you guys like these breakdowns? How do you enjoy this road to Colorado? Go back down my channel. Just look. We've been getting ready for Georgia Tech for about 3 to 4 months now, I want to say. Go back and look at my Road to Georgia Tech series, about 8 episodes. I hope you guys are enjoying these new episodes now, as we're about 13 or 14 days away from September 3rd, right? So, yeah, don't forget to smash that like button. They call themselves the Bad Boys, and Justice Haynes and Hosley believe they are the best running back duo in all of college football. They definitely have the production and the 7.1 yards per carry to back that up. So it's up to Chris Marve and this Colorado defense to come out and put that belt and establish early. I don't care if it was 7-point yards, 6-point yards, Colorado and 5. You dig what I'm saying? Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Click the next video here for the best video for your overall viewership, and subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so you don't miss when I drop this next video. Say no more, fam. I ain't gonna hold you. Say no more.